Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to dive into these expert sources today and show you exactly how to keep your garden thriving when that brutal summer heat hits. If you've ever watched your beautiful spring garden turn into a crispy, wilted mess by mid-July, well, you are definitely in the right place. We've all been there, right? You step out onto your patio during a mid-summer heat wave, and your absolute favorite plants are just completely wilted, really struggling to survive the scorching temperatures. It's incredibly frustrating. But I want to reassure you right out of the gate, we have the evidence-based solutions. By rethinking just a few core habits and looking at the science of how plants actually process heat, we can totally turn that struggling garden into a resilient, heat-loving oasis. So let's take a quick look at our roadmap for this explainer. First up, surviving the summer heat. 2, protecting your balcony herbs. 3, our lavender companion plant guide. And finally, number 4, olive tree care essentials. All right, section 1, surviving the summer heat. Let's dive right in and look at the absolute golden rules for keeping plants alive when temperatures really start to soar. Now, this first rule, it's actually totally counterintuitive. Under normal conditions, we fertilize to fuel new growth. Makes sense, right? But in heat wave conditions, specifically when soil temperatures rise above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, you must stop fertilizing. Why? Because the plant essentially goes into a semi-dormant survival mode. It's using very few nutrients. Actually, scratch that urge to feed them, because fertilizing stressed plants literally damages them. It forces them to produce new foliage that their stressed out root systems simply cannot support. So absolutely withhold that fertilizer until the weather cools off. Okay, so timing is absolutely crucial here. You cannot water your plants in the middle of a scorching day. It causes massive heat shock. Instead, you really want to aim for that morning window between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. This gives the soil plenty of time to drink up before the blazing sun just evaporates all the moisture. But hey, if you miss the morning, no worries. Your next best window is late afternoon, between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. That allows your plants to absorb moisture effectively without the midday stress. Now, what about containers? Potted plants are super vulnerable because they dry out way faster than anything planted in the ground. First off, size matters. Use pots that are at least 14 inches wide to keep the soil cooler. Second, never use gravel at the bottom for drainage. It just adds unnecessary weight, and it's totally a myth that it helps. Instead, just cover the drainage hole with a simple coffee filter or a paper towel. It keeps the bugs out and the soil in. Finally, top the whole thing off with 2 to 3 inches of mulch to regulate those soil temperatures and really lock in the moisture. Moving right along to section 2, protecting your balcony herbs. Let's see how these principles apply specifically to those highly vulnerable balcony herbs. If you've ever tried growing basil, mint, or cilantro on a sun-baked balcony, you know exactly how fast they can crisp up. Listen, if you want your herbs to survive extreme heat, you've got to ditch regular potting soil for this exact mix. Regular soil just dries out way too fast and ends up suffocating the roots when it's baking in the sun. So here's the magic formula. 40% cocoa peat is your absolute hero here. It retains crucial moisture while keeping the soil nice and cool. Combine that with 30% compost for your nutrients, 20% garden soil for structure and stability, and 10% perlite to make sure the roots don't suffocate from compaction. I'm telling you, this mix is a total game changer for balcony survival. But, if you are just totally exhausted from battling the sun on your patio, here is a brilliant alternative to those wilting annuals. Arranging succulents in a broad, shallow pot gives you incredibly vibrant color and gorgeous texture. And the absolute best part, they literally thrive on heat and neglect. You can pack them in tightly for a stunning visual impact, entirely skipping the stress of daily high-maintenance watering. Okay, section 3, Lavender Companion Plant Guide. Let's shift our mindset from fighting the heat to actively embracing it. We're going to explore how to cultivate Mediterranean plants, starting with an absolute classic, lavender. To really understand how to build a resilient garden, we need to talk about companion planting. Basically, it's just growing different plant species near each other so they mutually benefit one another. But here is the secret when it comes to lavender. It is happiest when paired with neighbors that share its exact, specific needs. We are talking at least 6 hours of full sun, excellent drainage because lavender absolutely hates wet feet, and very, very low water requirements. You really need to know what works and what will ruin your garden setup. For drought-tolerant Mediterranean companions, you want to stick to rosemary, thyme, sage, echinacea, and yarrow. These look incredible right next to lavender, and they share its love for dry, poor soil. On the flip side, avoid thirsty, shade-loving plants at all costs. Planting mint, hostas, impatiens, basil, or hydrangeas next to your lavender? No way. The amount of water required to keep those plants alive will quickly rot your lavender's roots right out. Seriously, if there is only one single thing you take away from this section, remember this golden rule. Always, always check a plant's water needs before placing it next to your lavender. Mismatched water requirements are the absolute biggest deal breaker in an herb garden. Match dry with dry, and your garden will practically maintain itself. And that brings us to Section 4, Olive Tree Care Essentials. Let's look at the ultimate staple of the heat-loving garden, the timeless, structural, and just drop-dead beautiful olive tree. Bringing that Mediterranean tranquility to your space is honestly easier than you think, as long as you follow the science. Because olive trees inherently despise waterlogged roots, understanding the distinct needs between potted trees and in-ground trees is essential for their survival. If you're growing them in containers, you need a loam-based compost, something like John Is No. 3, mixed with grit for supreme drainage. Plus, you've got to wrap the pot to protect the roots during winter. But if they're in the ground, they need well-drained, slightly alkaline soil and a really good layer of mulch in the autumn to insulate the root system. You know what's fascinating? Overwatering is actually the biggest mistake gardeners make with olive trees. Once they are past their first year, they are incredibly drought tolerant. You literally have to let that topsoil dry out completely before you even think about reaching for the watering can. For potted trees, just give them a balanced liquid feed every 4 to 6 weeks during the spring and summer to keep them happy, and then stop feeding entirely when autumn hits. And get this, surprisingly, mature olive trees planted in the ground are incredibly resilient. They aren't just delicate summer plants. They can actually tolerate winter temperatures dropping all the way down to -10 degrees Celsius. That's 14 degrees Fahrenheit. As long as their soil drains well and they aren't sitting in freezing water, they are fantastically robust additions to your landscape. So, that leaves us with one final provocative question to think about. Are you going to spend next summer endlessly fighting the heat with a watering can every single day? Or are you going to plant a garden that naturally loves it? I really hope this explainer has empowered you to rethink your approach, ditch the daily watering struggle, and use these specific soil mixes, optimal watering times, and brilliant companion plants to design a stunning, heat-resilient garden. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy planting.